Hey, Evgeny, thank you for agreeing to take this interview for Animo. Could you please introduce yourself and your company?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Dennis. I'm a co-founder of Othis. We are building a wealth management platform for high net worth individuals to help them consolidate, organize, and grow their wealth from one place, focusing on the European market in the beginning and planning to really set a new standard for the wealth management industry beyond Europe as well, going globally. So that's a bit about our company. Myself, Evgeny, taking care of basically everything in the company, focusing on product, focusing on marketing, focusing on sales and fundraising. So that's also the reason why we were working, and I was deeply involved in the project and working directly with you as well.
Perfect. So what was the problem that you guys had before you found us?
Yeah, so we had a very specific need to build a wow experience with our website using Webflow. We wanted to have some flexibility, and it was a bit hard to also find the right agency, to find the right partner. We knew that we wanted to partner up with someone because the main purpose for us building the website was to really get the customers on board, kind of build up the wait list before we go live. And we understand that in the fintech space and B2C with B2C products, you really need to have an exceptional experience. And taking that into account, also given that we are a startup, we have a very specific request in terms of our customer base, and we want to develop it with Webflow. We had a pretty limited also number of partners that we could work with, but we were very happy to find Amo. We used one of the comparison websites, which gave really good review to Amo, and then we decided to go with you guys. I think the decision was made pretty fast.
Sweet. Why did you guys ultimately decide to work with Ammo?
Yeah, so I think we liked overall kind of your really entrepreneurial approach going into our collaboration. I think you got pretty fast, you got a gist of what we want to do, how we want to go about it. We like the structure a lot in terms of how you present it, how would our process look like. The pricing was also attractive, I have to say. So that was also one of the big decisive factors. And on top of that, I have to add that we looked into, of course, the projects that you had. We liked a lot your focus on working with startups, with scale-ups, with technology-based companies. And we got a feeling that in terms of the case studies, the projects that you previously had, and also how you're looking at the design aspects of things and content, we saw that you were really kind of a thought leader in the space. And we understood that if we go with you, then everything will be I would say the design and the content will be according to the best practices and leading best practices and innovations that are happening in that space as well.
Great. Yeah, no, that's great to hear. We definitely try to focus on that. So how did it actually feel to, kind of get that end result?
I think we were really happy with the end result. We put a lot of effort. We also liked that there was a lot of collaboration. I think once we really went into a process that I would say really day-to-day process of how we work together, we found our style for how we work together, and that's what we appreciate as well, that the structure overall that we had was quite flexible, that we could find a way for how we work together. And I think after some time, after I would say 2 weeks or so, we found a way how we work together, which we appreciated quite a lot. And then it was kind of putting it all together into one cohesive picture, and then the outcome was exactly what we were looking for. The team was very responsive. You had a lot of great ideas that we could take in from you and your recommendations, which again we also found quite useful as we went into 2 to 3 weeks into the project, and I think we found our style that worked, and that was the great part of it, and that's why we were very happy with the result. And it was, I wouldn't say it came as wouldn't say it came as a surprise. We know exactly what we want to deliver, and we got that end product in exactly the same form as we initially anticipated. So I think that was the great part about it.
Yeah. Was there any like hesitations that you guys have before actually like working with us?
No, I wouldn't say so. I mean, we got a really good feeling, and I have to admit that we made a decision fast because we had a couple of other calls with other agencies lined up, but we had a conversation with you, and I think after the first call, we got a really good feeling, and it was worth it. It paid out. It was the right decision. In the beginning of the project, I think it would have helped us in some areas where you could have taken all of the kind of everything that we've built up until now. We could just share it with you and say, hey, this is the complete picture. So I think an initial alignment could have been more straightforward, I would say. We could have streamlined it a bit more, but we got into that flow 2 weeks in. So I think that the flow was great afterwards. And the other aspect is we appreciate a lot the recommendations, and I think the specific part where more recommendations would be needed was really the design of animations, because we had a lot of animations. We wanted to provide good feedback to you, but we liked a little bit the structure for ourselves. How do we make your work efficient? And I
Yeah.
think more recommendations in terms of how we could contribute with our ideas would have been helpful, but the overall process was exactly what you initially laid out before we started working together.
Great. And so now, now the site's been live for a little bit now, maybe like a month. Were there any initial feedback or anything that you necessarily saw from your website that you guys really liked?
Oh, the feedback has been great. Feedback has been amazing. Everyone really loved it. So I think we invested a lot of time into the website, but at the same time, we're very efficient of getting it to the market. Let's put it like that, and going live with our website. And we managed to build a website that resonates with our target audience, exactly what we wanted to achieve. And we got really good feedback. People love it. It looks high end. It looks modern. It gives a lot of insights into how the product looks like and how it works. So I think from that perspective, it was really good. And looking at the analytics, it proves that as well in terms of the conversion rates, in terms of people, the amount of time they spend on the website, and the sections that they look on the website. Given that we have one landing page only and it's a bit long, I think more than 70% scrolled up until the Teams page, which basically gave us the possibility to give them the overview of the product, all of the features, all of the benefits, and we were really happy with the results that we saw from different analytics tools as well.
That's great. That's really good to hear. And so this is my last question for you. So who or what type of companies would you actually recommend Emma Studio to?
So I think, it's a good. So first of all, I would recommend it to everyone who asks me who we should work with when it comes to the website, because again, we had really good experience, and I would definitely recommend, and I already did that because once we went live, everyone started asking us who did your website. So I definitely shared it. I think in terms of specific companies that would be a fit, I think with our requirements, it worked well. I mean, we are an early stage startup, not a pre-seed stage. There are also always some limitations in terms of how much do you know about your target customer. Your product might still not be live. You have some limitations on the budget side as well. So I think with those limitations in mind, we found that there was a way for us to collaborate and get a really good product out there. So I think I would definitely recommend it to companies that are in similar stage to us. I think I don't think it would matter in terms of B2B, B2C, the industry. I got a feeling that you can handle it all, really. It doesn't matter. And you can figure out a way how to convey a certain experience to the users on the website. So to be honest, in terms of the requirements that we had, and if I see a company with the same requirements, I would definitely recommend Amma to them.
Great. That was great. Well, thank you so much, Evgeny, for taking the time to meet with me today.
Yeah.
Forward to a long relationship.
Yeah, thank you, Dennis. Same as well. It was a really great pleasure working together.
Perfect.